Evening, councillors. By virtue of the fact that the person that was elected as the presiding member of this committee being the Shire President, and not because she's a Shire President, but because she's a councillor and she's elected as a councillor, because Shire President Meldrum has a leave of absence and is out of the country. We need to declare nominate a new or a temporary presiding member for this committee until such time as she returns. So, in accordance with Standing Orders and Local Government Act, I will conduct the election of the Audit and Risk Committee Management Committee, Deputy Presiding Member election. I declare this period open at, what time is it? 4:32. And I now call for nominations.
I nominate Councillor Keno.
Thank you. Usual speaker, please. Your microphone, please, councillor. Thank you.
I nominate Councillor Keno.
Thank you. Councillor Keno, are you prepared to accept the nomination? Speaker, please.
In fear of rejection, yes.
Are there any other nominations? Okay, there being no other nominations, Councillor Keno is the, what's the terminology I use? Has been nominated for the position of Deputy Presiding Member and unopposed, and as such, there is no requirement for a ballot to be held, a secret ballot to be held. I declare Councillor Keno is elected to the position. Councillor Keno, would you like to come forward and preside over this meeting? Thank you very much.
Everybody. So I don't need to declare the meeting open because you've done that already. So the attendance, we have an approved leave of absence of Councillor Julia Meldrum. Do we have any disclosures of interest?
I haven't received any.
Haven't received any? Okay. Public questions? I guess there's no questions by the public that are here. Confirmation of the previous minutes for the Risk and Management Committee meeting on the 28th of February 2024. Do I have a mover for that one? Yeah, so Councillor Jones and a seconder, Councillor Boland. Would you like to speak to that? No, Councillor Boland?
No, thank you.
Okay. All right, then I'll put that to the vote. All those in favour? That's 4-0. Okay, so on to the reports. Item 6.1, Local Government Audit Regulation 17 review. Do I have a mover for that motion? I can move that. I'll move that motion. We'll get it on the table. I have a seconder for it. Councillor Daff. Okay, I actually don't have anything to say on that. Would you like to say anything, Councillor Daff? No? Anybody wish to speak for or against? Yeah, Councillor Boland?
Yes, more by way of observation that not necessarily speaking for or against at this point. It's more that when I was reviewing that regulation, it refers to issues of compliance, legislative compliance, and at a meeting, 2 meetings back, we were dealing with local laws that need to be reviewed, and there are some that are beyond their review date, and they didn't seem to be covered in the report. And I thought the report would be dealing with that. Things such as there's the health local law, parking and parking facilities local law, extractive industries local law, environment and nuisance local law, local government property law, standing orders local law, and Public Health Act. Oh, sorry, that's a separate item. So there's those 6 local laws. I can understand that, for instance, on the standing orders local law, we've dealt with that in council recently because that's under review by the state government with a view towards standardised local laws. So it's understandable that would be on hold, but there are others that are needing review, and there's various things in our report, the report 2 meetings back, about things such as the health local law was to be outsourced in June 2023. And then, yeah, there are other comments about what is happening with those local laws. We don't seem to have dealt with that in the report that is coming to council, coming to this committee today. So I raised that. I suppose it's something for the CEO. No, sorry, I did try to talk to the CEO earlier today about that, because also in terms of being on this committee, I'm the deputy, and I didn't realise till fairly late in the piece, oh yes, I am called up because Councillor Meldrum isn't here. So I apologise to the CEO if I'm bringing this up here and he hasn't had the chance to review that issue. And whether we do adjust the report before it goes to council, possibly. So that's my issues with the recommendation and the report that we have. Thank you.
I'll just get Mr McLeod to respond to that one for you.
Yeah, thank you through the chair. Thank you for the question, Councillor Boland. So the regulation 17 audits relate to the Shire's the effectiveness, the appropriateness and the effectiveness of the local government systems and procedures in relation to risk management, internal control and legislative compliance. And so it's not about whether there is any or not, whether there's legislative non-compliance. It's about our systems that we have and our procedures, I guess, to detect that non-compliance and to manage that non-compliance. And the fact that we're aware of all those local laws currently being out of date, I guess, shows that those systems and procedures are in place despite the fact that they're not compliant. So it's not about our level of compliance, it's about our systems and our procedures in managing that.
Yeah, I suppose then that begs the comment that when will those things be reported on further, those things seem to be outstanding, and we need to deal with them. There may be reasons why they haven't been done, like the standing orders local law, but some of the others, there are things that are apparently going to be outsourced. I think 2 of them are going to be outsourced, and I'm wondering where that stands in terms of where we're up to with those things that are an obligation for us. So, but I suppose that's something for further reporting to councillors. If we're just assessing that we are looking at our compliance, then that's sufficient for today's purposes, and maybe it can be noted that it could be useful to have a report on where those things are at. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else like to speak for or against? All right, then I'll put that to the vote. All those in favour? That's 4-0. Okay, item 7 on the agenda is confidential business. So I'd like to move someone to move that we go into confidential. Councillor Jones, and a seconder. Councillor Daff, and all those in favour? That's 4-0.
At
At 4:42. Oh, sorry, yep.
The issue that we dealt with right at the very beginning, which was that we are live now.
Oh.
To chair the meeting, and I haven't been.
Just get Mr McLeod to respond to that one for you.
Yes, thank you. And that was the process we did today. You're right, it was an oversight at the previous meeting. It should have been the first order of business when we first convened, and that's why we had to do it today. I think part of the reason it's missed is it's been a convention that the Shire President has normally chaired the meeting, despite being a councillor, but wherever they've been a member, they have chaired.
Right, so I just need to read out the recommendation that was passed behind closed doors, and that is that the Audit and Risk Management Committee endorses treatment/action plans on the current significant operational risks to the Shire taken from the Shire's operational risk register as of the 6th of May 2024. Yep. Okay, and I would like to close, oh, sorry, yep.
In the agenda, it says that this committee comprises all members of council. That doesn't seem to be the case. It's only those appointed. So I don't know whether why. I was wondering why the agenda was saying that.
In the Act, it talks about there being 4 different types of committees. Committees comprised of councillors and officers, committees comprised of councillors, officers and members of the public, and committees comprised just of members of the public. And this is a committee that's comprised solely of councillors. We don't have any officers or members of the public / independent members at the moment.
Just there's a word in there that says all members of council, and maybe the all shouldn't be in there.
I don't have that wording in front of me, so you might be correct on that. We did maybe 2 terms ago have all members, The terms of reference were changed back in, about 4 years ago to include only 4 members.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So I'd like to thank everyone for attending and close the meeting at 4:47 p.m. Thank you.